Good morning. Thank you for joining us on THV 11, streaming on THV 11 Plus. I'm Karen Fuller.
I'm Hayden Balgavy. Let's send it over to meteorologist Tracy Bean back with us with your forecast, and Ashley King now in the house, where I am hoping we got nothing like we had yesterday.
Right.
That was insane. I was telling Tracy a little bit earlier, I drove down there because I had to shoot in Bauxite, and I saw the 18-wheeler just ripped up.
Terrible.
Stuff was everywhere. It was bad.
Yeah, that was right there on I-30 eastbound, and that happened, about 5:45?
Yeah, about 5:45 in the morning.
By the time that we got off the air, I mean, it was an all morning, maybe all day situation there, trying to clean that up, and whatever the load was that they were carrying, I think it was just thrown everywhere.
Like boxes and like furniture.
Furniture. Oh, wow.
Ugh. And they were just loading it up into the dump truck. So, yeah, it was a lot. Well, we are hopefully not going to see that this morning. Weather shouldn't be an impact for the commute this morning, and we may see a few showers tomorrow, but again, very light. Today, we're just really looking at cloudy skies out there. We're starting to see a little of that first light as we are heading into this 6 o'clock hour, and today is going to be one of those days we're going to keep those clouds around once again, similar to yesterday, and still not looking for a ton of rain through the state today. Most of it, of course, is out of, and we may see a stray shower, but 65 to kick things off this morning, and those winds east or northeasterly around 9 miles per hour. It is 65 in the capital city. We're seeing a few 50s, and again, already starting to see some of those upper 60s down south as well. As far as the highs go, for the most part, 70s for everybody. We've got a couple of folks there trying to get to those 80s. Now, scattered storms will begin to move in later this evening, but I know you all want to know about that weekend forecast. But we've got good news, bad news situation. But it's all about perspective, right? Today is going to be pretty good. We're going to go ahead and send things back to Ashley, and hopefully that's going to be one of those days for traffic being pretty good as well.
Yeah, I hope so. This time yesterday, we were already talking about that accident there on I-30, and that was a mess yesterday. But right now, things are looking pretty good around the metro area, and hopefully with schools being out today and dry roads, things will be pretty calm. But this is the Big Rock interchange, and really just not anyone out at this time. A few cars that are there on Interstate 430 and going on to 630. But yeah, for the most part, things are looking good. As you can see with our live traffic map, we don't have any slowdowns or accidents, but this is something we'll check again here in just a bit.
Developing this morning, a federal discrimination lawsuit is now targeting a proclaimed white-only community in North Arkansas. A Missouri woman says she was blocked from buying land after the group learned she has a black husband and biracial children. The lawsuit accuses the organization Return to the Land of violating federal and state fair housing and civil rights laws. The group owns about 160 acres near Ravenden in the Ozarks and describes itself as a community for white Christian heterosexual families. According to the Arkansas Advocate, the woman's application included questions about her race, religion, and family background before the group reportedly told her family they were, quote, not an ideal fit. The suit seeks damages and a court order to stop the group from continuing what attorneys call illegal housing discrimination. Now, Arkansas Attorney General Tim Griffin previously said an investigation found no evidence of illegal activity, but his office says it's now reviewing this new federal lawsuit.
Also developing, the University of Arkansas System Board of Trustees will uphold its termination of a tenured professor over social media posts about Israel and Iran. Former Middle East Studies Director Shirin Saidi lost her job after school leaders said some posts and reposts were violent and anti-Semitic. Saidi's attorney argued the posts were offensive, but said they should not have cost her a tenured position. University attorneys told trustees Saidi shared content they say encouraged violence against Zionists and created a hostile environment on campus. A faculty review committee earlier recommended that she be reinstated, but University President Jay Silveria moved forward with the termination anyway.
Little Rock Mayor Frank Scott Jr. is pushing for stricter rules on large AI data centers, including the proposed Google facility planned near Sweet Home.
The mayor says residents have raised concerns about massive water and power use as more high-tech data centers move into Arkansas. The mayor's proposal would apply to data centers larger than 250,000 square feet that use more than 50 megawatts of power. The planned Google facility south of Little Rock of the airport would fall under those rules.
The ordinance would require large buffer zones between data centers and other properties, along with public noise monitoring and plans for responsible water and electricity use. Scott says the city can't ban data centers under current state law, so this is the city's way of adding oversight while still allowing economic development.
We want to put guardrails in place to protect against excess usage of water, any cost shifting from an electricity standpoint or a water standpoint, because we know that families are very concerned about their dollar.
The Little Rock Board of Directors is expected to discuss that proposal on June 2nd.
Healthcare leaders in Conway are warning Arkansas could lose even more rural hospitals if something isn't done soon. They say small communities are already struggling with fewer healthcare options, and more closures could leave families driving even further for care. THV 11's Maya Ellison speaks with healthcare leaders who are urging action now and warning what's at stake if the system doesn't change.
Healthcare officials across Arkansas are on edge, growing more concerned about the future of care in the state.
The reality is that hospitals are closing. We as a community have to decide who are we going to believe and what are we going to get behind.
Conway Regional CEO Matt Troop says the situation is getting worse. Just last month, Baptist Health in Fort Smith closed its labor and delivery unit. And weeks later, Unity Health in Jacksonville shut down its emergency room for good. Troop says more closures could follow.
Camden is a great example. Ouachita Medical Center in Camden. Camden is booming, pardon the pun. Their missile defense industry is booming, yet they can't sustain a hospital. 2 months ago, that hospital filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection.
Troop laid out these issues during Tuesday's Public Health, Welfare, and Labor Committee meeting, where lawmakers heard just how serious the problem has become.
Arkansas is woefully underpaid for the services we provide.
Conway Regional shared data showing Arkansans pay similar premiums to other states, but hospitals here receive far less in reimbursement.
We are the lowest insurance reimbursed state in the nation. Because we're paying the same premiums as Tennessee, but yet Tennessee hospitals are getting reimbursed 70% more than they are in Arkansas. I mean, this is crazy that we can't fix this gap.
That's Representative Jeff Wardlaw. He says the impact is most severe in rural areas.
In my little old district in the southeast corner of Arkansas, we have one place that you can deliver a baby, and that's in Monticello. It's a real serious epidemic, and I think we're asleep at the wheel as far as Arkansans because we don't see it coming.
And last year, Wardlaw even sponsored a bill to set minimum reimbursement levels, a move he believes could have helped keep hospital doors open. But he says without action, the outlook is bleak.
If nothing comes out of this conversation, what do you think Arkansas healthcare could look like in the next 5 years?
If you look at the next 1 year, you could see possibly 5 to 10 hospitals close in the next year. And possibly on a 5-year span, you're looking at close to 50 rural hospitals that are no longer on the landscape. This thing's not just isolated to a problem in McGee, Arkansas. It's isolated to a problem in the state of Arkansas. And we must do something quickly to fix it.
Maya Ellison, THV 11 News.
In other news this morning, an Air France flight from Paris to Detroit was suddenly diverted to Montreal. U.S. officials blocked the plane from entering over Ebola exposure concerns. Officials say one passenger may have been exposed in Central Africa. Customs and Border Protection says the traveler should not have boarded under current U.S. restrictions. Those rules apply to recent travel through parts of Congo, Uganda, and South Sudan, where health officials are monitoring hundreds of suspected cases.
Having a crew mask up when they were not informing us of what was going on is very concerning.
The situation is a public health emergency of international concern, but is not a pandemic emergency.
The World Health Organization says the outbreak has killed more than 130 people, with hundreds more cases under investigation. U.S. officials have now tightened screening, limited high-risk arrivals to Washington Dulles for extra monitoring.
Here at home, let's check in with meteorologist Tracy Bean and the forecast to help you plan your day.
Well, today is going to be mostly cloudy, a little sunshine here and there, but not expecting a ton of rain. But as we're heading into Memorial Day weekend, we're going to continue to see these chances for rain, a bit spotty to isolated at best for all the days. Now, don't let that scare you too much. I think there's still going to be plenty of time for folks to get out and have a good time for this unofficial kickoff of summer. So just make sure you're watching that radar. That's the most important thing, especially if you're going to be out and about on the lakes folks are just having a good time. But as far as today goes, again, cloudy skies, and we're going to start to see some rain pushing into the state later this evening, and maybe dealing with a little bit of that tomorrow morning for your commute.